Hello, dear listener, Iain Lee here. Thank you for downloading episode 2 of the Iain Lee Pocket Radio Show. And a big thank you to everyone who downloaded episode 1. I'm genuinely surprised and touched. I thought this was going to be a tiny little project that I'd be doing in my I'll be doing in a friend's luxurious recording studio in Soho that maybe, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 people would download. Instead, I've become the internet sensation. I was number 1 on iTunes for 3 days, and thousands have downloaded. So I'm genuinely touched and humbled, and thank you to everybody who has supported this podcast, not only by downloading it, but also by sending me money. Some of you have done, and it means a lot. If you want to contribute to the show, if you're listening on, you got this from iainlee.com, then there's a PayPal button, and you can click on that to support the show, or you can send PayPal payments via ian@iainlee.com. And, you know, if you want to send a quid, if you want to send 100 quid, I would love you all. Today's show is the first show that's got advertising. We are sponsored by balconyshirts.co.uk. I thoroughly recommend you go and have a look at their website. They've got some awesome stuff on there, and there is a discount if you buy stuff from there and you've heard this show. There is an advert coming up, and if you enter the promo code from that, you'll get 20% off everything. You can also go to my website, and they've made the T-shirts that are on my website. No discount for those, I'm afraid. They are not included in the discount promo offer. But thank you to balconyshirts.co.uk for taking a chance on us and putting an advert. If you want to advertise on the show or sponsor the show, ian@iainlee.com. Coming up, we've got your phone calls. We've got Mitch Benn, special guest. We've got a Showbiz Reporter, only because the show would be a bit short if I didn't put that bit in, and your audio boos. But I thought we'd start off with some of your phone calls. Hello, line 3, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
I'm from Woodford, the Uber Castle Kids correspondent. I'm not a kid anymore, and I've got my own car.
OK, let's go to line 2. 2, you're on the internet.
Iain Lee.
Hello, who's this?
It's Aaron, you alright?
I'm alright, Aaron, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. Just making a pizza, but I want to make it into the Iain Lee pizza. What toppings do I need?
My little boy drew a picture of a pizza the other day, and when I asked him what was on there, he said peas, bananas, and an orange.
Let me see. Chef, peas, banana, and orange. Again. Nice one.
Beautiful. Well, there we go. That's an interesting start to the phone-in part of the show. The way this works is you can Skype me, Pocket Radio Show, or you can dial 020-3286-1483. And you can dial that from any landline or mobile or whatever it is these days. 020-3286-1483. Or you can Skype Pocket Radio Show. That's how it works. I post the topics on Twitter, @Iain Lee, or on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Iain Lee Official. Hello, line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
It's Billy Hayes.
Billy Haynes. Haynes or Hayes?
Hayes, Hayes.
Billy, Hayes. What can I do for you, Billy?
I was phoning up to speak about overrated dead rock stars.
Yeah, it was Kurt Cobain's birthday the other day. He would have been 45, I think.
Right.
I was watching a documentary about him. He was rubbish, really, wasn't he?
You were talking to the wrong person about that. I mean, that was my era, so, you know, I was 15, 16, impressionable, and he was one of my heroes. But one absolutely overrated dead rock star is Jim Morrison.
Oh, man, the Lizard King. He was awful. Let's be honest. He died, I think he was 27. He died fat and drunk in a bath. Yeah. The only good songs the Doors did were the pop songs that Doors fans don't like. So Touch Me is a brilliant song, but it's like a little bouncy pop song.
And People Are Strange, I think that's an amazing song.
That's it. Those are the two good... Riders on the Storm? Oh, mate, get lost, for God's sakes. The end. It's just pretentious. What it is it's sixth form poetry put to really crappy blues music.
That's exactly what it is.
There's someone I'm not sure about.
Go on.
Where do you stand on Elvis Presley?
Well, the problem is all of my heroes, most of my heroes, quote Elvis as being a massive influence, i.e. Lennon and McCartney and various sort of rock stars from that sort of era.
Yeah.
So Yeah, he's not my cup of tea, but I understand his position. The fact of the matter is, he didn't write his own song. He was basically a Cheryl Cole of our time, or trying to think of.
Hang on a second. Elvis Presley was a Cheryl Cole of our time.
Well, somebody who he played a bit of guitar. He had a decent voice, but what I'm trying to say is that he just he played other people's songs. So that
I know what you mean. I don't like 50s Elvis. I think it's horrible. I can't stand 60s Elvis, but from 68 to about 73, he did some cracking tunes.
He did.
5 years of his entire career, there were some cracking songs.
Well, I'll tell you, that video, have you seen the video of him doing Suspicious Minds live when he's wearing the white jumpsuit?
Yeah, it's wicked, isn't it?
The band, that bass player, he's absolutely having it. That's an amazing performance.
The whole band is awesome, his backing singers and everything. Now, you mentioned Lennon. I was thinking about Lennon, because obviously the Beatles are one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. There's no shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm going to tread carefully.
I'm getting nervous now.
And I love Lennon, and I think he's great, but 4 good solo songs...
Oh, I don't know about that. Go on. What are they?
Well, Imagine is rubbish. We'll agree with that, won't we?
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Nobody Loves You When You're Down and Out.
Yeah.
Good song.
That's not a Lennon song, though.
Who wrote that then?
That is a proper old blues song, because Clapton did that. He did that with Derek and the Dominoes. That's like a...
Really?
It's an old classic.
Well,
blues
then
song.
there you go. Then there's only 3 good solo Lennon songs written. Let me try and think of... I'm struggling. You can write off the whole rock and roll album. That's complete and utter tosh.
Yeah. Well, what about songs like Mother?
Come on, keep your angst to yourself, Lennon. We don't need to know about it. Listen, thank you for the call. I'm going to move on because we've got other calls coming through. Let's go to line 6. 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this? Nearly said the old line there.
Oh, hello, Iain.
What's going on there?
Just a moment.
Okay.
Just got to turn my speakers down.
There we go. We can hear you. That's it.
Oh, good evening, Iain Lee.
Good evening. Who is this?
Mike Cullen from Newcastle upon Tyne.
Mike Cullen. Is that you I can see in your picture?
Sadly.
Oh, my
yes.
God. Look at you. You look, tired.
Oh, thanks. I look like a radio presenter because that's what I am.
Oh, really? Well, I look like I used to be a radio presenter because that's what I was.
I still want to do it, but nobody will take me on, Iain, and it's just not fair.
Michael, listen. If nobody will take me on, right, and I've won a Sony Award, right, what chance do you stand?
Every chance. I just haven't got the right demo out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well. Have you now? Okay. You haven't got the right demo, or
I'm just not good enough. Do you think I've got the voice, though? Do you think I've got a voice for a good radio presenter?
I think you have got a cracking voice for a radio presenter.
Oh, thank you.
But what kind of radio presenting do you want to do?
Anything to do with capital.
See, now there you go. You've chosen the station.
I've chosen the station, but I'm not fussy.
Right.
But
so you want to play bland music? You want to play bland music?
Well, I'm not into the sort of today's chart as such, but I would love to play any kind of music that I could. But do you know what it is? I would just love to have a go just on FM radio, just to see how I would get on.
Yeah.
And then we would take things from there, and then But I've never had a chance to get on there yet. But
what. It's interesting you said you want to play the kind of music you want to play, because no one on radio is allowed to play the music they want to play. Mm-hmm. No one, apart from Danny Baker, is the only person who's allowed to go in and go, right, I'm going to play what I want to play. Absolute, I was told what to play. I would sneak in a song every now and then.
Definitely.
But it's selected by a computer for you.
It is, and what system did they use at Absolute? Did they use RCS?
Oh man, now I don't know. I would just go in and talk to idiots for a little bit and twiddle knobs. I have no idea what they'd use.
Well, you're talking to a complete idiot at the moment, aren't you?
Exactly. Listen, Mike, thank you. I'm going to move on because we've got other calls coming in. Okay. Hello, line 3. You're live on the internet. Who's this? Who? What? You're breaking up.
Oh, can you hear? Oh, hang on. Oh. That's because I'm sitting up. Hang on.
Don't sit up. Do the other one. What's the other one? Line 3, yes.
Yes.
Is this Kate?
It is Kate.
Hey,
yes.
Kate, how are you doing? You're right.
I'm absolutely fine. How are you?
I'm sitting in my spare... I'll cut that bit out. I'm sitting in my luxury recording studio in Soho, in the heart of London, supping on a nice cup of rooibos tea. I'm doing all right. I was number 1 in the charts for 3 days.
How amazing was that?
That was awesome.
My son was devastated.
Why?
That I'd announced to the whole of iTunes and the world that his goldfish used to be called Charlie and Lola.
Exactly. Thousands of people are now laughing at your son's goldfish, your son's dead goldfish.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful?
He was only 3, so...
Exactly, loser. I'm not saying your son's a loser, I'm saying all 3-year-olds are losers. No, hang on, that's even worse.
Slightly worse.
James Corden, hero or villain?
Oh,
there was a sigh there, as though you were tired of him.
Well, a little bit. He's a bit overdone, isn't he?
The thing is, I met him years ago, and he won't remember this. I met him because I was going out with someone who sort of knew him, and we went and saw him in History Boys, which is a play he did on the South Bank. And I thought he was all right in it, and I sort of said hello to him afterwards, and it was, very, very nice and stuff like that. And then I was one of those people that kind of thought, and enough with the Corden already. He's rubbish, he's overrated, But as time goes on, I'm warming to him.
Really?
He seems like a nice lad.
He does. He did that football thing, didn't he? He's done lots of football things. He did a really annoying TV programme.
The sports quiz.
Is that what it was? I don't know. But no, there was like a World Cup. I don't know. There was some big football tournament.
Oh, he did do a thing. He also did a sports quiz on Sky, right? And me and a load of other comedians were a load of other people. I don't call myself a comedian anymore. We were invited to go to the studio for like the day before they started rehearsing to do like a studio run through, right? And we were told if you're really good in the studio run through, you'll get to come on the show as a guest. And we're thinking, this is awesome. It's a big show. Well, we'll pull out all the stops. And so we had a whole day at Sky, and we wrote all our gags, and we had all these little bits and pieces. And then we sat down in the studios, and instead of even it being us, they stuck on a sticker saying I was Freddie Flintoff. And I was thinking, this doesn't bode well. And then we started the game, and we were giving our funny jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And you could see the floor manager holding his ears as the director was speaking to him. And he came to us, he said, yeah, guys, can we don't need any of the funnies. We just want to do the top and tail, the start and the end of the thing. So basically, they could have got hired monkeys in there to sit in there. There was no chance of us getting paid work from it. It was awful. It was one of many humiliating moments I've had in my career.
That's quite sad.
Yeah, but I was number 1 for 3 days. Come on!
Which is brilliant.
Oh.
Which I'm sure the goldfish had everything to do with it.
Yeah, it was your goldfish story, Kate.
It's Charlie and Lola, absolutely.
I've been getting tweets and emails saying that goldfish story broke my heart.
I'm not surprised. It is
overrated dead rock stars. I bet you're a fan of Lennon, aren't you? I'm a big fan of the Beatles, but I kind of think Lennon's solo stuff, I was going to say there were 5 good Lennon solo songs, and then it turns out he didn't even write one of those.
And that's not good.
No, so I'm not convinced.
He's a little bit overrated. Elvis Presley.
Well, again, overrated. Elvis Presley, 50s rubbish, 60s rubbish. There was a period between 1968 and 1973 when he did a load of really, really good songs.
I don't think I've ever heard any of them.
Okay, right, this is what I'm going to do for you and for the other dear listeners. I'm going to make up a Spotify playlist of the 5 best Elvis Presley songs from 68 to 73, okay?
Brilliant.
And I will put the link up when I release this podcast, and it'll be on my website, iainlee.com. There will be a Spotify playlist of the 5 best Elvis Presley songs, and I guarantee they are all fantastic.
I look forward to hearing them.
Okay, it's going to happen. Thank you very much for calling. More of your phone calls later on, and that playlist is on iainlee.com. Go to iainlee.com, go to the Pocket Radio Show page, and you'll see the link for the Spotify playlist there. I have picked 5 awesome Elvis Presley songs. You're listening to episode 2 of the Iain Lee Pocket Radio Show. If you want to get in touch at any point and let me know what you think about it, or send me some cash, ian@iainlee.com. And today's show is sponsored by balconyshirts.co.uk, who do some awesome t-shirts. There's a discount for listeners to this show. That's coming up a bit later on. Mitch Benn is a comedian, he's a songwriter, and he's a damn nice chap. If you want to find out more about the comedian, www.mitchbenn.com. He was kind enough to meet me for a coffee the other day, and this is what he had to say. I'm in Cafe Nero with Mitch Benn.
Yeah.
Which is weird, Mitch, because we work together
before the war, wasn't it?
When was that Edinburgh we did? Was it?
1998. How old do you feel now?
Jeez, man, that's 14 years
ago.
Bloody hell! That's I nearly bought your. I forgot to bring your present, and I will send it to you. I found 3 bootleg Beatles T-shirts.
I think I've still got one somewhere. I think it's okay. I think I've still got one somewhere. That was 1990. Yeah, it is weird though. That year in particular feels quite fresh in the mind. It's only when you actually add the numbers together you realise just how long ago it was. It feels quite recent.
The late 80s still seem close to me, but then you do the maths.
Oh, mate, it's because I'm still doing student gigs. You know what I mean? I'm still doing uni gigs every now and then. When I started doing uni gigs, I was like, 24?
Yeah.
I'm 42 now.
Jesus.
You know, I'm their parents' age. You know, and it's and the weird thing is, you know, it's extraordinary. Like I can have, you know, talking to the students afterwards. These are people I can have a very grown-up conversation with who have literally no memory of no internet. They don't remember no internet.
That's terrifying.
For them, internet is like the TV is for us. It's like it's gotten more complicated, but it's always been there.
Yeah.
Because I first started tinkering around on the net. Well, I'm 95, 96. This one would have been 2.
The show we were doing, for those who don't know, it was me, you, Mackenzie Crook, Zarin Gibson, kind of sort of squashed together to do a sketch show that got like 4 or 5 star reviews.
It was really weird. It kind of flamed out, didn't it?
Yeah. What are you doing now, Mitch? Because you're always the Now Show started again.
Now Show started again last week, and we'll run until end of March.
That's been going forever, hasn't it?
It's been going since. I've been in it since '99. I started it just after you and I were working again.
Really? Okay.
I remember you and I having a conversation. Just at the end of that. Just at the end of that Fringe.
Yeah.
Because you were going off to do the pilot run of the 10
pilot run of the 11 o'clock show.
You were off to go do the pilot run of the 11 o'clock show. You weren't the chair yet, but you were doing VTs.
Yeah.
You were doing like reportage. And I was about to present this talk show on the paranormal on very nearly digital. It's the only bit of presenting I've ever done. It's a thing called Out There, which was subsequently the name of a show on Channel 5 with Emily Booth showing clips from trauma movies in her pants. It was nothing to do with that.
Were you in your pants?
No, I was not. I was in a sort of beige sports coat, as I remember. But but the thing was, I was off to go present this, and I remember about 6 and you were to go together. And I remember, I think you borrowed a tenner from me or something, and we were sitting in the kitchen in this flat we were in there, and he said, "Have you got a tenner out, by the way?" "Yeah, here you go." And you said, "Fine, I'll be able to pay it back when my TV show starts." And I said, "Don't worry about it, mate. My TV show starts in 2 weeks." And we just looked at each other like, "Oh, what a pair of wankers."
I did waltz around that Edinburgh as though I were cock of the north. Although I lost my voice. Do you know I lost my voice for 2 weeks?
Really badly.
Completely gone.
I remember we had to recast a bunch of it, didn't we?
Yeah. I had to cancel Mackenzie's show completely.
That's right.
And I had to do the sketch. We cancelled a few of the sketch shows, and then you all kind of went, "You're going to have to be in it, but just not say anything."
We had to sort of recast it so that I got all the big dialogue people. But it was only for a couple of days, one for them. But yeah, everybody loses their voice at Edinburgh, man. Everybody loses their voice at Edinburgh.
What's the band? Is this
the band is Mitch Ben and the Distractions, which has existed in one form or another since 2003.
Yeah.
It's stabilising its current form in about 2007. It's myself, a woman called Kirsty Newton, who plays bass and keyboards and sings, sometimes all at the same time, and a guy called Ivan Shepherd, who we've got playing the drums but can play everything, so we occasionally exploit that. We've been this tour is kind of fragmented across last year and this year. We toured for the whole of November, then we had December and January off, and now we're touring again, and it sort of staggers on till the end of May.
And is it comedy songs, or is it proper rock songs?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
It's comedy songs, but it's a proper rock band, and we cover pretty much every imaginable musical genre. You know, part of the idea is just almost gratuitous diversity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try and over the course of the show, and we do 2 hours. You know, we do the whole night. We do an interval.
We do an interval. You can't have that as a selling point. There's a break in the middle if you're not enjoying it.
Well, actually, no. There's a thing I do in the interval, which is I get ideas at the end of part 1 and write something over the interval. And
I've seen you do this, man.
Yeah, because you came to one of our club nights.
I came to one of your nights, which is that's still going, is it?
Oh yeah. So the next one's March 6th. That's my other ongoing concern, which is the band and I run a thing called the Distraction Club,
which is a cracking night.
It's a great night. We've had some great. That's been running nearly a year. Started in April, so the next one in March will be the 12th one.
Do you never get frustrated doing comedy songs? Do you never think, I wish I was a rock star?
I guess. I mean, I've occasionally been described in the press as a frustrated rock star, which I slightly take objection to, because that suggests I put some effort into it at some point. You know, that kind of suggests I tried and failed, and I never really did. I mean, I was in bands and stuff when I was at uni and a bit thereafter, but nothing that I ever really pursued.
So you've got the tour. How long's the tour going? Where's it going? What's the plan?
Will go up until the end of it. Hang on, let's see.
Oh, look, he's getting out a phone. He's looking.
I know. I remember that this week we're in Aldershot on Wednesday. Hang about. No, we're in Aldershot on Wednesday, and the weekend I'm not touring. I'm just doing the store on my own. I'm doing the comedy store on my own.
We'll put all the links on the website as well.
There will be other comedians, but you know, it's not me and the band. I know we're off down into the West Country for a whole week. We're off down doing like Penzance at the beginning of May. And
beautiful. Penzance in May, that would be gorgeous.
I know, should do some surfing. It's one thing I've never done.
Have you got any more CDs coming out? You should get
the new album comes out next month. I've got it already. I'm flogging it at the gigs, but it's a commercial release. I think it's March the 5th. It's called Breaking Strings. It's got pictures of my little girls on the cover, which is quite nice.
You softy, you.
Well, also because it's kind of a slightly more grown-up band thing to do, is not necessarily have a photo of you on the cover. You know the way proper bands don't really necessarily have photos of them on the cover. Have photos of them on the inside gatefold, but not necessarily on the cover.
Listen, Mitch, it's lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, mate.
What are the chances of us getting the bootleg Beatles back together one more time?
I haven't seen Hide in the Hair of Zaren for a long time, but I bet you I could track him down if I tried. The real trick's going to be getting Crook back, let's be honest. The real trick is going to be getting Johnny Depp's sidekick Mackenzie Crook back.
You mean the movie star? We could get £100,000 somewhere, couldn't we? Surely we could raise that.
Have you seen much of him?
He lives around the corner from me. Yeah, I see him.
I haven't seen him. He came to a gig I did in Hampstead a couple of years ago. Yeah. That was the last time I saw him.
Mitch, lovely to see you. Best of luck with the tour.
Mate.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
With balconyshirts.co.uk. Put a little spunk in your wardrobe today. T-shirts, hoodies, wallets, watches and more. We're your ironic retro online superstore.
balconyshirts.co.uk. For 20% off everything, use promo code POCKETRADIO.
We're going live now to our showbiz expert. Yeah, got a showbiz expert on the podcast. It's Alicia Roche. Hey, Alicia.
Oh, hello there. How are you?
You sound a little bit surprised to hear me, considering we planned this.
Well, the thing is, I think we planned it in London, and now I'm in Edinburgh, having a bit of a boozy weekend with some friends. I've actually had to step out of a meal in a restaurant to come out into the cold. Edinburgh's quite cold. So I've come out into the cold just especially to speak to you.
Okay.
So can we keep this quite? Can we keep it short? So I want to get back inside and finish my dessert. I think I've got coffee sat there. It's getting cold.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We'll keep it short, but we had arranged to do it at this time, so it's kind of irrelevant that you've got dinner. So first of all, before we get the showbiz gossip, give us your showbiz credentials. Who the hell are you?
Well, I'm the showbiz editor of the Daily Express newspaper.
Okay, I've heard of that.
And then before I was a showbiz reporter, I was a chef, and I trained with Jamie Oliver, who's a celebrity.
He's a celebrity, yes.
It's like there's always been a celebrity link in my life because of that. So it's like, when I was a chef, I worked for a celebrity chef.
Yep.
I cooked for celebrities.
What celebrities did you cook for? Bet you got some funny stories about that, haven't you?
I cooked for Tony and Cherie Blair, and they were very busy. And Cherie had a great big smile on her face.
I think she does anyway. That's how she looks.
I think that's the way she looks.
What did they eat? What did they eat, Alicia? That's what we're all asking.
They had, I think they had some pasta, fresh pasta, and then Cherie ordered a chocolate tart for pudding. But then because he was all important at the time, they had to go off to some government important meeting. They said, God knows, they probably just, God knows where they were going. But she ordered the chocolate pudding, so I made it all nicely for her. And then she was like, "Oh no!" She came to the kitchen and said, "We've got to go. I'm not going to have my pudding. Can you put it in a little box for me?"
And I
looked around and I didn't have a little box, but what I did have was lots of aluminium foil.
Yes.
So I fashioned for her an aluminium foil handbag with a little handle.
This story's actually going on a lot longer than I thought it would, and it's not quite got...
No, but she loved it. She loved the handbag. She went away swinging this little handbag with the chocolate brownie inside.
Did they leave a tip?
No.
Okay. So, moving back to the current days, what's happening in the... Bearing in mind, I don't know anything about showbiz, and if I'm honest, Alicia, I don't actually have that much interest in there. But as you probably know, I'm talking... As you probably know, this podcast has been at #1 in the iTunes chart for 3 days. And I'm kind of thinking that to keep people interested, people like show business, right? The Heat magazine sells loads.
They do. They love it.
The Express sells loads. So I'm kind of thinking, let's do give me some showbiz facts. What's been happening in the world of showbiz, Alicia?
Well, at this time of year, Ian, it's what we call award season. So we've had, Golden Globes.
Can I stop you there? Don't talk to me.
We've had BAFTAs.
Don't talk to me like I'm a child.
But you asked, so I'm just telling you.
Okay. Carry on.
I've left a meal to do this. So just bear with me. My pudding's getting cold. It's award season, and so we just had the Brits the other night. I was at the Brits.
Yes.
And then it's the Oscars coming up.
Okay.
We've had the BAFTAs.
Listen, I could just sit here and say what has happened and what is happening soon, but give us some gossip.
Okay, well, I was at the Brits. I was at a table, and next to my table was Boy George's table.
Oh, okay,
and then the table behind me was Katie Malua's table.
Yes.
She was flashing her engagement ring at everyone, very happy with her boyfriend.
Oh.
And then 2 tables away was Adele, and she was sat with Alan Carr, and they were having a right good time.
Okay, Alicia, right?
Yeah.
You're just saying famous people's names.
But they were there. I was sat there looking at them all doing all this stuff.
But they weren't doing anything, though. You're just saying people's names. I could say people's names.
I can't tell you any dodgy gossip. I can tell you, for example.
Well, then what are you on here for?
Well, when Blur got up to play...
Yes, go on, yes.
Ilona Faith and Florence Welsh went absolutely mental, and they were jumping around, dancing to Blur. They knew all the words, they were screaming and dancing, and, they were having a good time. Lots of the other celebrities were just sat there kind of watching and clapping and cheering politely, but they were really having a good time. Alan Carr was jumping around like a lunatic.
Okay.
They were all bouncing around.
This is really why I'm not interested in show business. One of the things we're discussing on the phone-in part of the show is James Corden, hero or villain.
Oh, yeah, he was there. He was hosting it.
Yeah, I know he was there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asked. That's why I'm bringing it up. Was he a hero or was he a villain for cutting Adele off?
Well, I think it wasn't his fault. I think he got told to cut her off. Because he went on stage, didn't he? And he said, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm actually doing this.
I know, that was on telly. That bit was on telly. I know.
Yeah.
You're not...
So I think someone in his earpiece, some producer or somebody said to him, get in there, cut her off. And he just followed instructions.
Well, listen, Alicia, I'll be honest, very, very disappointing. And this will only stay in the podcast if I'm 6 minutes short.
Okay.
Could you... I mean, is it worth having a go again next week?
I'm going to get back to my pudding. I took time out from a dinner with friends. I'm just going to go back and have my pudding and my coffee now.
Disappointing, to say the least. If you want to follow Alicia on Twitter, she's at Alicia_Roche, ELISA_ROCHE. And I suggest you go on there and harangue her for being so poor. You can ask her showbiz questions. Maybe that's the way to do it. Follow her on Twitter and ask her showbiz questions that she can answer on the podcast. Don't forget, go to balconyshirts.co.uk, enter promo code Pocket Radio, and you'll get 20% off everything, which has got to be pretty groovy, hasn't it? Back to your phone calls. It looks like we're going to be recording these phone-in sessions Friday nights at 8 o'clock, between 8 and 9. To get the latest on when that's going to be, do follow me on Twitter. I'm at Iain Lee, IAINLEE, or also sign up to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Iain Lee Official. And don't forget to keep popping back to iainlee.com for updates and all the things I'm doing, including hosting Clip Joint on Sunday, the 18th of March with Dougie Anderson and special guest Josie Long. If you've never been before, it's a fantastic night. It's at the Prince Charles Cinema. We show just lots of really odd and obscure and weird clips of things that we think you deserve to see. And you can get tickets from tinyurl.com/cliptix, TIX, February. I know it's in March, but I'm not bothered to update the thing. How lazy is that? Clip Joint, March the 18th. Me, Dougie Anderson, Josie Long. Here comes some more of your phone calls. And I'll be honest, not really many of you sticking to the topics this week. Have a listen. Line 7, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Hi, it's Christian Redding.
Hello, Christian Redding. What can I do for you?
Hi. I just read your topics, and I want to vote Michael Jackson for the most overrated pop star ever.
I can kind of see that. It would be fair to say that he did have a huge influence on popular music.
Influence, I agree. 2 great albums, Off the Wall and Thriller.
Exactly, it is 2 great albums, and the rest are mediocre at best.
I mean, they put Bad out as a single. It got that bad. But when did people start buying into the name rather than the music? And that's the point. And it goes for all people, great pop stars, that they do reach a point where the name becomes something people buy into and they can release anything. So I think Michael Jackson is definitely up there.
Okay, listen, thank you very much for the call. Let's go to line 6. Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Ian, how you doing? It's Sean.
Sean, is there any chance of getting your mouth near the microphone?
Yeah, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Hello?
That's much, much worse.
Is it? Well, I'm losing my voice. So
use your voice. Use your voice. Go on, brother. What can I do for you?
Well, what's the topic? I wanted to just tell you a story, really.
Go on, then.
Okay. It's about a nutter that I met.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to a club. This club's called Terminals.
Right.
It's one of these clubs where you leave really early in the morning.
In Farringdon?
In Farringdon, that's
right. I have left there very early in the morning myself, many, many years ago, yes.
Good man, yeah, same here. So I met this Swedish girl. Her name was Ida.
Okay.
And
where's this going?
Afterwards, we arranged to go to a cafe. It's called Tinseltown, which is just up the road.
Okay, you're giving us a real spice of the area here with the names.
Yeah.
Let's just hope there's nothing litigious.
Her mobile phone died, so we're having a chat, and I wrote my number down on a piece of paper and gave it to her.
Yeah, okay.
We left. We're at the tube station. She said, "Do you want to go back to mine?" So I said, "Yeah, I'll go back to her." Swedish girl.
For sexual intercourse?
Yeah, that was on the card.
That was on the card.
I was hoping for.
Sex
I sort of blessed myself before.
Yeah.
So we got to her house. It was in Turnpike Lane. It was really weird. I mean, you're in a sort of bad state of mind when you left that club.
Okay, I understand. Yes, it was from going from a very warm place to a very cold place. It shocks the system. I know exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. On the way to the place, she said to me, "Do you ever talk to yourself when you're wrecked?" And I said, "No, I don't really. I've never done that." Right. So that sort of raised an alarm bell in my head.
Yes.
We got to her place, and its place was very weird. It had rooms everywhere.
Well, it's a house. They do.
The house.
The houses do have rooms everywhere. I mean, I'm in a recording studio, but my house at home has rooms everywhere. Literally everywhere in that house there are rooms.
Several rooms, Ian. A lot of rooms. More than your usual.
Okay.
This is when the weird stuff started happening. I got into the living room, and there was pornos everywhere, like tapes, videotapes, VHSs, all across the floor.
Okay, be careful. There are young people listening to this, so be careful, but carry on, yes.
Okay. So.
Yes.
I look at I sit down and go, what's with all this? She said, the guys are disgusting that I live with, blah, blah, blah. So I looked at my feet, and there's a white carrier bag, and it is full to the brim of female genital areas from jazz mags.
Okay, so it's from magazines. I was worried there for a second. Okay, yes.
But the thing is, somebody had been cutting them.
Okay, I don't think we need to hear any more of that story. Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Hello, is that Ian?
Yes, it is. Who's this calling, please?
Hello, good evening. This is Hugo Peters. Bon vivant, raconteur, homme de monde, writer.
God. Yes.
Boogaloo music aficionado. Some may say the Ernest Hemingway of the 10s.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
I used to phone your show.
I vaguely remember the name. Yes.
Yes. I used to phone it anyway. I'm phoning you up about a legal matter.
Right.
I don't know whether you're aware, or you must have been aware at some point, of legal proceedings between myself, Hugo Peters, Bon Vivant, Raconteur, etc., and my publisher, Mr. Patrick Thrush.
I was unaware that there were any legal wranglings taking place.
Well, may I read you an email which you sent to Patrick?
Please do.
On the 25th of the 2nd, 2009.
Yes.
Hello, Patrick. My name is Iain Lee.
That is my name.
I used to present Channel 4's hit thrice weekly comedy springboard, the 11 o'clock show.
Yes, true, I did, yes.
Hit breakfast show Rise, amongst others.
Yes.
In recent years, I have made the decision to cut down on my TV work and concentrate on my first passion, radio.
Did I write that? That's yeah. And I've currently decided to cut down on my first passion, radio, and concentrate on the internet. But yes, carry on, Hugo.
Anyways, my radio show has recently been blighted by the addition of one Hugo Peters as a caller. That is me.
Yes.
I suspect he's some sort of sex criminal. It says that here in the emails I have.
I remember writing this email. Yes, carry on.
I just thought I should tell you, he has been bad-mouthing you via the internet and urging people to send you emails. I've always been a big fan of Thrush Publishing, especially your series of self-help books penned by Bobby Davro lookalikes. All the best, Iain Lee. Now, this email has come into my possession.
Okay, yes.
And I am not happy, in particular, with the words...
Sex criminal, is it those words?
Sex criminal, exactly. I'm not happy with that.
Okay.
Now, I realise you're on some kind of internet station now.
Yes. Well, it's a podcast, and it's my choice to be doing it. But, yes.
Yes, well, even so,
yes.
I am very...
Oh, Hugo, we seem to have lost you. That's a real shame. Do try and call back. Line 5, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
It's Tyler!
You're excited, aren't you?
Very.
Aren't we all? What can I do for you, young lady?
Can I have a potty, please?
Yeah, go on. You ready?
Yep.
You're going to count us in. Can we? I'll count us in. 3, 2, 1. Okay, hang on, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pradi. Are you going to join in? Oh, God, for goodness sakes. Awful effort. Line 5, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
It's Tyler again. You cut me off, lad.
Yeah, I did. So, yes, we are talking about overrated dead rock stars, and I think we'd all agree that Jim Morrison is way up there as one of the worst. James Corden, hero or villain? I'm coming round to liking the lad. I felt sorry for him after the whole Adele debacle. And we are also discussing, if you want to, the most fun you can have naked without having sex. Line 5, you're live on the wireless. Yeah, let's go to line 3. 3, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Oh, hello. This is Ryan. Hello.
Hello, Ryan. What can I do for you?
Oh, hello. Well, I got a little tip off from an avid listener of yours that you were doing a little Skype show.
We're recording a little phone in for the Pocket Radio Show, which has been number 1 in the iTunes charts. It's not anymore, but it has been.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll regain its former glory. It'd be very nice if it did.
Yeah, it would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, it would be.
Yes, we're asking, what's the most fun you can have naked without having sex?
Oh, yeah.
That curveball.
Oh,
you know?
Oh, yes, well, it should be quite by surprise.
Yeah.
I'm going to be serious. I mean, most fun you could have without your clothes on. I suppose you could go on a slip and slide like the American.
You could go on a slip and slide. That would be wicked fun, wouldn't it?
You know what I'm talking about, the little plastic sheet you put down and you spray a hose on it and you just dive on, you slide along to your heart's content.
Until you hit the garden, then that's always a little bit unpleasant, isn't it?
Well, yeah, so you'd need maybe 2 or 3, maybe
extended,
have a big circle of them. Yes. So you'd probably just slide forever, be very nice.
Ryan, I'm going to try and take another call at the same time as yours, so bear with me a second. Hello, who's that?
Hi, it's Chris in Reading.
Chris, I'm going to try and connect you up with another call. Hang on 1 second. I'm not quite sure. Oh, look, the phones are going a little bit mental at the moment. I'm going to try and connect you up here. Ryan, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm still here.
Chris, you've disappeared. Hang on a second. How do I add... Hang on a minute. Well, I'll cut this bit out, don't worry. This is the beauty of doing it pre-recorded. Ryan, are you there?
Yes.
Noel, are you there?
Come on, Noel.
Noel, I know you're there. Okay, who's there?
Oh, we're back in the room. Here we go.
Hang on. So, Noel, who's there? Who's that?
It's Chris.
Chris, right, hang on. Oh, Christ, go away, everyone. Right, hang on. Noel, I'm going to hang up on you.
Oh.
Right, so, Ryan, you're there?
Yes.
OK, well, that whole bit will get cut out, Ryan. What would you like to end on?
You should leave it in, because it's actually quite fun.
OK. Let's go to... Line 3, you're live on the... I nearly said it again. Line 3, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Yeah, live on the internet. Is this the number one podcast?
It was number one for 3 days. We're number 3, but yes.
Oh, we'll get back there.
Yeah.
I'm calling about one of your prime topics tonight.
Go on.
The Cornwall one.
Oh, yeah, James Corden, hero or villain? What do you reckon?
Neither. I don't care. He shouldn't. He's not a celebrity. He shouldn't be on TV.
Well, he is a celebrity in that he's quite famous and people know who he is.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be. He's a bad role model. Fat people should not be allowed on TV. They should not be celebrities.
No, I don't think we can say that even on the internet. I disagree with that totally. Let's try line 6. You're live on the internet. Who's this?
Brady.
Competition at all. Let's go to line 6. You're live on the internet. Who's this?
Oh, hello, I'm back.
Oh, for God's sakes. Line 5, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
I think I got cut off. I was talking about James Corden.
Oh, yes, you did. Line 6, you're live on the internet. I keep doing it. Who's this?
Ian, I got on the bus the other day.
Yeah?
And the bus driver went the wrong way.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how far wrong did he go?
He just took the wrong turn and some bloke started screaming at him.
I don't know if that's ever happened before.
Yeah, it happened to me. I was like, what?
Actually, do you know what has happened? I've got a friend called Captain.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name, the Captain. And he was a bus driver for a week.
Yeah.
And on his 3rd journey, he took a wrong turning and he got lost. And he apologised. He said, "Everyone, I'm really sorry. This is only like the 3rd time I've driven this bus. I'll get us back on route." And he couldn't get them back on route because you can't do a U-turn in a street on a bus. So he was trying to find somewhere he could turn around and get back. And he ended up getting into narrower and narrower streets until he got to a point where he said, "I'm really sorry, I can't drive this bus anymore. You're all going to have to get off."
Oh, dear.
And they did. They were all very nice about it, apparently. I'd have been furious, but they were all very nice about it.
What are the topics?
Well, how old are you, young man?
13.
Okay, there's 2 topics I can do with you.
Oh, hang on, wait, I know the other one.
Okay. Overrated dead rock stars.
Ooh. Kurt Cobain.
There we go. I mean, seriously, there was, he did one good song and the rest of it were tosh. And James Corden, hero or villain?
What, Tubbsy?
There we go. Speaking of Tubbsy, line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
It's Gary from Catford.
Gafford.
Gafford, yes.
The Gap, yes.
The Gap from the Gap. Overrated rock stars.
Yes.
The dead ones.
Thank you.
Jeff Buckley.
Why?
Well, because people one album, very good,
excellent,
yes.
but an excellent album.
But people sort of raise him up and go, "Oh, brilliant," and what he could have done, and
he sings like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. A bit like a girl, and
he does sing like a girl. I like girls.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah.
But just don't think he's as good as perhaps everyone says he is.
He's better than his dad. His dad was rubbish.
His dad was pretty pony, but his dad was like a poet, really, wasn't he? Or like a folk singer type.
Well, yeah, he was a singer.
But not like a good one.
Well, no, exactly. But that's what I said.
Has anybody said Kurt Cobain yet?
Everybody.
Well, can I have their Skype numbers, please?
Why?
I want to ring them up and give them some abuse that they deserve.
No, he's rubbish.
No, he's not. So can you get the Skype numbers now, please?
You know the pop song he sang?
Which one?
The one that was a hit that I used to dance to at a disco in my college. The pop one. I don't know what he's saying. Is he saying "Here we are now, entertainers"?
Here we are now, entertainers. And I believe there's something.
Entertain us or entertainers? Because that's the lyrics from "It Ain't Our Hot Mum."
I think he was very much inspired by the works of
Lovely Boy
and
Lovely Boy Cut
and Windsor Davis. I believe often.
Okay. Let me try this. Gatford, say hello to Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
There we go. We've managed to... Ryan, I've managed to put you up with another caller. Unfortunately, it's only Gatford, but never mind. Beggars can't be choosers.
This is very nice. Nice to meet you.
Anyways, beggars can be choosers. They can choose where they beg.
Yes, that's right. Corners outside of Greg's, something like that.
Yeah.
Under a bridge.
Under a bridge. Have you seen Greg's these days, Gatford? I bet you have. They're like little restaurants now, aren't they?
They do. They serve various soups and coffees.
But there's a seated area where you can sit down.
When I've been into them, I've been asked if I'd like to sit in, and I always slightly smirk at the seller and go, "Are you kidding?"
In the Greg's where I live, I mean, it would have been very nice if we could have had somewhere to sit down, enjoy our...
You live
in
for
£3 cheap to... No, don't be silly. But in my local town. But it would have been nice to sit down and enjoy my 2 for £3 sausage roll.
Listen, I'm not being funny, guys. Look, this kind of tosh would have been fine on LBC, and it would certainly have sat well in Absolute Radio. But this is a number 1, now number 3... But it was number 1 podcast for 3 days, and I just don't think that the quality of this conversation is good enough.
Comedy podcast, was it, Ian, or was it
It was number 1 it was number 1 in the podcast charts.
Yes, but it can still be funny at the same time.
Yes. Let's go to line 6. Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Yes, this is Mr. Stabby.
Yes, Mr. Stabby.
I called last week from the pub. You might remember me.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes.
Do you know why I'm calling?
Is it to apologise?
It might be because you cut me out of the podcast.
Oh, I did cut you out of the podcast. But just because we couldn't hear what was being said, I thought, I can't be bothered. I was listening to this rubbish.
You cut out the best bit.
Which was?
Well, me.
Okay, well, give us something really good this week that will guarantee you'll stay in the podcast.
Oh, what? So I've got to earn my place from the podcast, do I?
Everyone has to earn their place. This is
Jesus, you've put me on the spot. I was literally just phoning up to complain.
Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Hi there, this is Ben in Crewcan.
Hello, Ben. What can I do for you?
I'm just calling up about the overrated rock stars. I'm not sure you're going to like me, but I was thinking about Jim Morrison from The Doors.
Listen, you're not the first person to suggest Jim Morrison, and I'm applauding you and patting you on the back and buying you and your friends a round of drinks. He's awful.
A round of drinks, you say? That's lovely.
It would not literally, but I...
No, of course, no, that's fine, yeah.
Metaphorical bar, and you, and I'll even...
A metaphor, that's fine, mate, yeah. Yeah, no, I think The Doors they're really good, but everyone just sort of harps on about how badass they were with like Break On Through, but they never really sort of seem to remember the dumb sort of hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name?
That's a rip-off of the Kinks, that is.
Well, yeah, but they did a bad job of it.
I've never heard The Doors described as badass.
You don't think Break On Through is a badass song?
I wouldn't use the adjective badass to describe Break On Through. I mean, it's good. You know the D destroys.
Yeah, no, that's a killer riff, though, don't you think?
Oh, it's a great riff. But it's not a badass. Yeah, go on. It's a badass song.
It's a badass song. Yeah.
What do you think about Elvis Presley?
You know what? I love Elvis. I think if it wasn't for Elvis Presley, we wouldn't have modern rock and roll as we have it today. John Lennon sort of credits Elvis Presley as the reason why he got into rock, why he got into music. So if we didn't have Elvis Presley, we wouldn't have the Beatles. We wouldn't have. All that stuff. You
always get these rockers go, oh yeah, the moment I heard Heartbreak Hotel. Like, that's a terrible song. I mean, that's an awful song. Listen, I'm going to move on because we've got loads of calls. Thank you for calling, brother.
All right, cheers, mate.
Ta-ta, there we go. Line 3, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
It's Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. What can I do for you?
You called me.
Yeah, no, I called you because you called me and you said that you couldn't call me, so I called you.
I couldn't call you on my regular line because I'm in Turkey.
Don't show off about being in a foreign country. I'm in a...
There's nothing great about being in Ankara, Turkey.
I'm in a posh recording studio in Soho.
See, I'd much rather be there.
Yeah, well, exactly, and I'm not at home. And can I just say, for everybody on the internet who says Ian recorded this awful-sounding podcast in his bedroom, I'm not in my house. I'm in a recording studio.
How's that possible? There's something on Twitter about a crying baby.
What? What?
Wait.
I'm sorry, we just lost you there. I don't know what... Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this, please?
Bombs!
Well, that's rude, isn't it? That's the problem with the internet. Hello, Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this, please?
Oh, hello, Ian. My name is Pepsi Cola Con. We used to be friends.
Yes, I did used to be friends with a gentleman called Pepsi Cola Khan, and it's lovely to speak to you again.
How are you, friend? How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you very much. All the better for speaking to someone I've not spoken to for 20 years.
Well, can you furnish my memory, please, and tell me the story? Hey, tell me the story of your last night in Pakistan, please.
Why do you want that to hear that story?
Because it's a bloody funny story. Bloody funny.
Okay, this is a true story. I was in Pakistan for 3 months, 14 years ago, working with Christopher Lee. And I was the only person on the crew that didn't get an upset stomach at any point during the run. And then the day before we were going to fly back, I was nervous about flying. It was a long flight, and you could buy Valium there. So someone had bought some Valium and gave me some Valium for the flight. And I took one the night before to sleep because I was quite nervous. But I had an upset stomach that night. And when I woke up in the morning, I had messed the bed.
I can honestly say I am 27 years old and I have never pooed the bed once.
Okay, thank you very much. If you want to take part in the phone-in point at any time, follow me at Iain Lee on Twitter or visit facebook.com/Iain Lee Official, and I will tell you when I'll be recording these. The number is 020-3286-1483, 020-3286-1483, or you can Skype Pocket Radio Show. And I think we're getting there. I have, there were topics that were up for debate this evening. It turns out that most of you just wanted to phone up and talk nonsense. That's absolutely fine as well. Absolutely fine as well. Line 3, you're live on the internet. Who's this, please?
Hello, it's Bernie.
What have you got for us tonight? And I'll tell you now, Bernie, every call we've had this evening has been, if this were on the radio, it would have won me at least a bronze in the Sony Radio Awards. So you could be the last call of the show. You've got a lot to live up to. What have you got for me?
I'm going to tell you about my hamster. My hamster runs on the outside of the wheel.
Well, how
about that?
Okay, hang on a second. Initially, I was like, that sounds rubbish. Now I'm thinking that sounds like bullshit. It runs on the outside of the wheel.
Yes, it runs on the... In fact, he's just about to do it now. He's right in front of me. Well, he's going to run on the outside of the wheel.
Okay, I only have your word that this is what actually happens.
Shall I tweet a picture of him running on the outside of the wheel?
I want you to send me a picture to my email, ian@iainlee.com, and I will post this with this podcast next week.
Okay.
You going to do it?
I'm going to do it.
Thank you very much for calling. And let's go to line 6. Line 6, you're live on the internet. Who's this?
Ian, how you doing? I'm going to behave myself. I'm going to tell you a clean story.
Okay.
Okay, so don't cut me off. It's going to be clean.
Oh, we're out of time. Can you call next week?
What?
Well, that's pretty much a lot. Thank you, everyone who took part in the show today by tweeting, emailing, phoning in. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Iain Lee, IAINLEE, facebook.com/Iain Lee Official, and keep checking out IainLee.com. A few thanks. Thanks, of course, to balconyshirts.co.uk. Don't forget they're 20% off if you use the promo code Pocket Radio. Also, thank you to the Positive Internet Company for putting this online. The team at www.gak.co.uk who lent me this fantastic sound equipment and also sold me an excellent guitar last year. They're a superb website. Andy White is the pod doctor, and he has been putting up with my ridiculous and quite tedious emails. You can follow him at Dr. Pod. And thank you to all of the artists who've let me use their music. They've been very kind and let me use it. That's Plastic Soul. The theme tune is by Chihuahua, who are in Canada and are mental. Incidental Fusion, Michael Mucklow, Al Phillip and the Woo Team, Blaze Lindner. And if I've missed anybody out, please send me an email and I'll, of course, mention you in the next podcast. Finally, we're going to end, as we always do, with your audio boos. And you can send these to me anytime you want. They can be as bizarre, as mundane, as weird as you want. audioboo.fm/Iain Lee. Until the next show, ta-ta.
Lucenam vidi noctu fenestram praetorias. Umbras incertas flagrantil delicto vidi. Meam puleram perfidam specta via sensus amens furies.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Peacock.
Where did you get them? Really?
Yeah.
Is there a bald peacock somewhere?
Yeah.
Peacock with no tail? That's very strange. How much?
Little peacock.
Oh.
Little to go.
Okay. It's very unusual.
Iain, it's your career. Where have you been? You're gonna open a supermarket. Hang on.
Jackie Shroff is a bad man.
Just watched Hellboy 1 and it was utter rubbish. So I'm going to watch Hellboy 2. Why the hell not? I have a headache. There's a helicopter. And there's a fella hammering. And I've had it. Let me tell you something. H is really ruining my day.
Captivus noloque modo liberandus.
Hello?
Eloise, it's Iain.
Iain, I'm so excited to be on your podcast.
Well,
I've got so many ideas that I thought that we could do.
Okay.
Maybe, what I thought about if we start off, that maybe
Eloise, let me stop
you
you
have
there.
me coming in.
Yeah, let me stop you
What?
there.
Yeah.
We haven't got time for you this week.
What?
This week's kind of full, so I was thinking maybe we could try and squeeze you in episode 3. Is that all right?
I've got loads of ideas.
Yeah, it's just a bit busy. Next week?
I was really looking forward to it.
I've got a dash.
Oh, okay. All right then. Maybe next week then.
Bye.
Hi.